Hello everyone and happy Monday. I'm Nitsa Hone and I bring you guys a new draft each and every Monday. And right now I'm recording a whole lot of Amonkhet. That's because I'm going to be out of town traveling for basically the entire month of June. So I'm trying to get all of the drafts out of the way. So basically every weekday in the month of May, I'm waking up and recording a draft. I have to record a draft every week for this channel and one for the Ether Hub. But I've been really enjoying it actually. It's fun to do a bunch of it all at once. You can also see my overlay is a little less invasive than it's been. It's smaller. My sponsor shrunk it for me some. And I also added some stats, which I thought would be interesting. Some of them are more serious. Some of them are kind of a joke. But, you can see my overall record and how many of my favorite card, which are Angler Drakes, have drafted, and how many Gods I've drafted, which is still 0 for me. So maybe we can change that here. We're going to go ahead and jump in this queue and see what happens. Okay, well this is an interesting pack. We have not a very good rare, not one that I even think is playable actually. I mean there might be an exception when you can actually want to play Hazard's Favor. Let's make the cards bigger here. But yeah, I don't really like Hazard's Favor, but we do have two very good uncommons between Crocodile of the Crossing and On-Crop Crasher. They're both great. They're both just good, like, aggressive creatures. This can make things unable to block, and this is just a massive monster for its mana cost. And those are really the only two cards worth considering in this pack. And I haven't had to make the choice between the two of them before as a first pick, and it's kind of a hard one. I'm thinking I'm leaning towards the Crocodile, as much as I like On-Crop Crasher as well. I think the Crocodile is just even more of a problematic body. This can make something unable to block, which is great, but this is just huge. So I'm going to take the Crocodile. Okay, Rags to Riches is not a bad card in terms of the split cards. In this pack, other than that, is not awesome. It might just be the best card in this pack. I mean, Horror of the Broken Lands is pretty solid. Wasteland Scorpion's fine. Gustwalker's fine. Colossopede is fine, if we just wanted to stay green monstery. But it might just be better to take Rags to Riches. Even though our first card was green, I think this is just enough better than everything else in this pack that I'm going to go ahead and take it. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay. Trial of Strength is fine. Gale Strike is pretty good. The green-white gold card is pretty good too. So Splendid Agony. I think Splendid Agony is probably just better than Trial of Strength, though. This doesn't get good until you have a few cartouches. I mean, it's fine if you don't, but Splendid Agony is just always good. So I think I'm going to take it here. Yeah, I think that's the plan. This means we can at least play the Rags half, like if we're a black-green deck, so that's worth keeping in mind. Okay, the green-red card, gold card is here. There's also a Bitterblade Warrior, which is fine. Stinging Shot, which is also fine. Hooded Brawler, which is fine. The red-green gold card is good. If I could stay black-green, I would want to, but black looks like it's just getting destroyed right now. I do still think it's probably going to be better to take a green card because I'm not convinced I'll be in red either. So I think I'm just going to take the Warrior. Yeah, we'll take the Warrior over Hooded Brawler. Well, there's a Nest of Scarabs. We already have two cards that add -1/-1 counters. We could try to build around it. There's also a Soul Stinger, which I really like. But I'm thinking I'm going to take the Nest and see if we can pick up more -1/-1 counter synergies. Cartouche of Zeal is pretty nice aggressive card, and Gideon's Intervention is fine, but let's see. Oh, yeah, late Cartouche of Strength is a good sign. That's what we're going to take here. So maybe that Trial will come back to us. I don't know. Probably not. It is a perfectly playable card. Yeah, I mean, if we can't cast to Riches half of this, it's not the end of the world. It is some nice value out of your graveyard in the late game when you can actually cast it, but, it's whatever. So we've got two cards that add -1/-1 counters already with our one Nest of Scarabs. Okay. Probably just Horror of the Broken Lands here. I think it's just the best card in this pack anyway, so I don't feel bad about taking it. We don't have any cycling yet, but we may end up with some. And even if you don't, like Horror of the Broken Lands is a 5-mana 4/4, which isn't great, but it's fine. And in the early game, you can just cycle it away, which makes it a lot better. Okay, well, I'll take a Gift of Paradise if we want to talk about splashing. There's also a Shimmer Scale Drake. Should we end up being black-blue instead of black-green? I think Shimmer Scale Drake's a pretty good card, but I think I'll take the gift here. Try to cut green. And yeah, I mean, having the ability to splash isn't bad at all either. I mean, we're definitely not going to be able to... Riches is double blue, so it's not like we could play that half of Rags to Riches, but... Guess we can make the cards down here larger as well. Another Gift of Paradise, but there's also a Hieroglyphic Illumination, which is really good, I feel like, and a Naga Oracle. So we may end up, could end up in a cycling deck if green just isn't there for us. Okay, I don't hate Kopesh in an aggressive deck. The Center's Deliverance is nice because it has cycling, but I think I'll just take the Kopesh. And here, I'll take a Dune Beetle and feel perfectly okay about it. He's a decent little 2-drop, and Stinging Shot is a main boardable card in this format, so I feel good about it. The trick that was in there, Shed Weakness, is not bad either. Yeah, we'll take the Center's Deliverance. I'll probably start it in my sideboard, unless we do something crazy like end up with Drake Haven or something, which happened to me on my Aether Hub draft. I actually started same color pair, but I think in this case black sort of dried up on me, and then I opened a Drake Haven in the second pack, went crazy, and made a pretty sweet Drake Haven deck, cycling deck, blue-green, which isn't usually where you'd be, but it ended up working out pretty well. Okay, well, there's Kefnet. I was just talking about how I haven't had a god yet. However, I don't love Kefnet. I think it's the weakest of the gods in Limited. It does draw you a lot of cards, and in a really grindy game, that can be pretty good. There's also a Dread Wanderer, which I think is worth something, and that alone is worth thinking about. But there's also a Decimator Beetle, but let me check out Dread Wanderer here. Yeah, it's worth about 3 tickets. Decimator Beetle is very, very good. This is a hard pick because, you know, we've got value here in terms of dollars, which makes it so future drafts will cost less, basically. And we have Kefnet, who's a god. But I'm not convinced we're in blue at all. We do have the potential to splash Kefnet. Kefnet's also worth about $4 too. So, oh god, I have to decide quickly. I'm going to take the Beetle. It's happening. Those 2 cards were both worth a lot of money, and that made it worth thinking about, but I think I had to take the Beetle. There's a Cast Out, which we could potentially splash. There's also Baleful Ammit, though, and I think I'll just take that. Man, giving up that Kefnet and that Dread Wanderer hurts. Dread Wanderer is actually pretty good in Limited, too. If we didn't have the gold card and the color pair that seems to be open for us, I would not have taken it, but what are you going to do? So, yeah, we'll take this Cartouche. I like Start to Finish a lot. Compulsory Rest is good. We'll just take a Quarry Hauler here. Okay, well, I have 2 Decimator Beetles now, so I feel sort of vindicated, but and I'll probably move that over there. Supernatural Stamina. Oh, there's an Ornery Kudu. What am I talking about? That's what we take. We're in -1/-1 counter city. Wouldn't hate finding another Nest of Scarabs. I'm still going to leave my Gods count at 0 because I didn't draft it, okay? So that is the first one I've seen in a pack at all, which is kind of crazy as this is my 9th draft. Yeah. Okay. I don't hate a Washer Cultivator as a place to put -1/-1 counters that creatures come into play with. Pouncing Cheetah's fine, but this also opens me up to ramping. If I have a Cultivator plus 1 Gift of Paradise, I can take an off-color bomb and just play it. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and take her just because of that upside. We don't have enough cycling for Faith of the Devoted. That's not what we're building around right now. Festering Mummy puts a -1/-1 counter on something, I suppose. So I think that's what I'll take here. I don't know if it'll make my deck, but that's what I will take. So like in a world where I don't end up wanting to splash at all, I probably cut Gift of Paradise and Oashra Cultivator. Nice thing is a lot of our creatures just survive rags, which is pretty good. Okay. No, thank you, Monument. I think I'll take Painful Lesson. It might make the cut. Yeah, this guy is some serious action. It's worth noting, and I got this wrong in my set review, and so did multiple other people until people pointed it out to all of us. It's sort of the downside of doing set reviews is really weird rules interactions or weird wordings on cards is something we miss when we try to get them out as quickly as possible. But Decimator Beetle, you don't have to actually have a -1/-1 counter on anything for it to result in putting a -1/-1 counter on your opponent's creature. You can, and if you have a -1/-1 counter on one of your guys, you should, but you don't have to have them. So that means Decimator Beetle gets to weaken things all the time. I'm going to take Unburden here. The card's sort of close to getting cut. This is an okay sideboard card if you end up against someone with some ridiculous Embalm creatures or Aftermath cards. So I'll take it, and I'll take a Trespasser's Curse. And I'll take a Giant Spider. I don't hate that, actually. And I don't hate another Dune Beetle. Do I love it? No, but these creatures with huge butts are great places for us to be putting -1/-1 counters. And right now, we don't have a ton of ways to put them on our own creatures. It's worth noting. We're probably not quite where we can play Nest of Scarabs yet. Not quite. You don't have to put them on your own creatures for the Nest, by the way. It's just any creature, but still. Wow, double Cryptic Serpent pack, huh? How about that? Naga Vitalist is okay, but we're not really a ramp deck. We might still want it, though. Ornery Kudu, we could take another one of those and not feel too bad about it. I mean, the Vitalist does mean we can play Decimator Beetle like a turn earlier. Cursed Minotaur is fine, incidentally. I think I might just take the Kudu. I guess I am sort of low on 2 drops, though. Yeah, let's take a Vitalist. It's another good place to put a -1/-1 counter or two. Well, just one, I guess, ideally. Electrify is a pretty good removal spell, and that's definitely one thing we don't have a ton of. And we could try to splash for it, but let's just take the Vitalist. Ooh. There it is. There's a good payoff. I'm glad we're in black-green now. I would also like to get Defiant Great Maw, but I doubt it'll come back to me. But Hapatra is way better. I get to make a snake token with Death Touch every time I put a -1/-1 counter somewhere. So, yeah. Hapatra it is. Another Nest of Scarabs. I think I'm going to take it. I think we're probably done trying to splash anything. We really do need more ways to get -1/-1 counters to make the Nest of Scarabs work for us. But I mean, Hooded Brawler is fine. And I wouldn't mind having it in the event that I can't run Nest of Scarabs. I'm going to be really sad, but it seems too sweet not to take a second one. Okay. So we have another Ornery Kudu. I think I'm just going to take it. I think I'm just going to jam everything with -1/-1 counters into this deck, basically. They all got even better thanks to Hapatra. None of that going on here. There's a desert that adds counters. We should be on the lookout for that. There's Shed Weakness, which I guess I'll take. It has some synergy. I don't know if I'll play it, but probably not playing Painful Lesson or Unburden. So -1/-1 counter-wise. She puts them on things her own if you do damage. Here it is, Grasping Dunes. Maybe I just want it. Greater Sandworm's best in a ramp deck. It is a solid card, though, in any deck, thanks to cycling, but, you know, I'm sort of forcing -1/-1 counters here, so let's take Grasping Dunes. Okay. Another Shed Weakness, I guess. Is Shadow of the Grave worth anything? I think it might be. Let's find out. It's a foil one even. Nope. It is not. So, yeah, I guess I take another Shed Weakness. A third Nest of Scarabs. No, we don't need it. I'll take another Grasping Dunes, though. And nothing for us here, really. I'm going to take this Cryptic Serpent, because why not? I think I'd rather have another Bitterblade Warrior than another one of this trick. It's a good 2-drop. Supernatural Stamina is a good trick. So it might make the cut. Do we have enough enchantments to play Benediction of Ronus? I don't think we do. I think we just have the 2 nests. Oh, we have a cartouche. We have 2 cartouches. We're almost there. I think you need about 5 enchantments for it to be worth it, but he's a Pollen and Angel. Let's take a full art land. Why not? Okay. So, 2 full art lands. Did it. I'm going to have to count how many things with -1/-1 counters I have. And the bad news for Nest of Scarabs is I didn't get very many, if any, that put into play more than one -1/-1 counter. And that makes it a little less appealing to me. So running 2 may not be right. Running 1 might be okay. So let's put Rags to Riches. Why am I putting that up there? Actually, this is what I want to put up there for a second while we figure this out. Well, actually, they put -1/-1 counters on things, so I don't know what I'm talking about. These are repeatable sources of it, the 2 beetles. These can add them. This puts 1 on something. These all put 1 on something. This is one of the few things we have that puts multiple. So So the Nest of Scarabs is the payoff. Baleful Ammon puts a single -1/-1 counter on something. This is a repeatable source of -1/-1 counters. This does a single -1/-1 counter. And this can do 3 at once, which is our best way. Because Nest of Scarabs gives you 1 for every -1/-1 counter you put on something, which is pretty good. So that's like our best way of putting -1/-1 counters on things. Worth noting that Supernatural Stamina will work in conjunction with any of these guys to get me another -1/-1 counter if I want it. So that's cool, I guess. Probably not going to run the Kopesh in this deck. Probably not mainboarding Giant Spider either. So I think I'm going to go a little crazy here because I haven't gotten to draft this deck yet and run 2 Nest of Scarabs. I want to test this out for myself, see how it goes. And yeah, that's, I think, my plan here. Decent trick. And we don't have a ton of removals, so I think we're going to need to use tricks. So I think this is our deck. Oh no, we have to cut one more thing. I think we probably need 17 lands in here. We don't have like a ton of cycling. If you have enough cycling, you can get to 16 without too much trouble. But we do not. I mean, we do have Cartouche of Strength, I guess, which is probably our best removal spell. Especially good on our big guys. I could think about cutting the Horror. We're not going to be able to pump him that often. Most of the time, we're just going to cycle him in the early game, and in the late game, he's going to be underwhelming. Because in terms of cycling, I think this is literally the only card we have that has it. Yeah. So, let's take him out and roll with the rest of this. It says we only have 14 creatures. You can kind of count Nest of Scarabs as a partial creature, and we have 2 of them. So, and, you know, she makes extras. So I think that's probably okay. All right. And I think it's okay to play 2 Grasping Dunes because we don't have any card with double cost, and we're just 2 colors. So running 2 of them is perfectly fine. And stuff. We want to add basic lands. There's some decent sideboard cards at least. We'll just add 2 islands. No, we're just not casting the richest half of that card. Sorry, Magic Online. You don't have to be able to cast it for it to be worth it. So I guess we're slightly more green. Yeah, so 8/7 seems okay. We have a lot of 2-drops who are green and less in black. So yeah, let's go with that. All right, well, black-green -1/-1 counters. You know, we got 2 of the Signpost Uncommon and the rare that supports the archetypes, and 2 Nests of Scarabs. So the one thing we're lacking are the guys who put multiple -1/-1 counters into play at once, which would have been awesome. But, you know, what are you going to do? So on to the first match. Okay, I would like to play first. Seems like a solid hand. We've got a 2-drop and a 3-drop who will be a 3/4 because we have a Dune Beetle to put it on. And we've got Nest of Scarabs already too. I could be greedy and play Nest of Scarabs before Ornery Kudu, and depending on what my opponent's doing, I might do that. If my opponent has a quick start, I will not be doing that. But if they have a slow start, I mean, basically making this add a 1/1 Scarab token every time is pretty awesome. Every time. When I cast it is what I mean. I could actually play the Vitalist now instead, which is going to open up more options for me. So yeah, I think I will play that. In case I draw like a 4-drop I really want to play. Does our opponent run like Essence Scatter? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and play the Nest of Scarabs because I'm a greedy person. And I guess I'm going to attack. She eats an impeccable timing. I don't feel too terrible about it. She did not. Okay, that's the one really good monument. So our opponent's going to try to go really wide on us. Ooh, that's a beauty. Okay. Well, I think now we do just play Crocodile of the Crossing. And we're going to put the -1/-1 counter on Naga Vitalist. And we're going to get a Scarab token and Bash for 5. Actually, they're insect tokens, you know, but they didn't want to create a new creature type, I guess. They are scarabs when you look at their art, though, at least. So we actually have mana up for Supernatural Stamina. It's worth keeping in mind. Yeah, okay, so you're going to try to go wide on me. I see how it is. It's not going to be enough to stop my Crocodile. Well, now you can like quadruple block him if you really wanted to, but I have Supernatural Stamina, so and I also have Grasping Dunes, so I'm in pretty good shape no matter what I do here because I can make it so, oh no, Grasping Dunes won't be enough on its own. No, it won't. I think I am going to attack. And see what my opponent does about it. He's just going to take it. Okay, fine with me. In that case, I instead am going to... By the way, my opponent was also greedy. They waited to play Oketra's Monument before playing things. We sort of have the same thing going on. We're just both trying to go wide on one another. I'm going to play Dune Beetle because we don't have enough insects in play. And then I'm also going to play Ornery Kudu and put a counter on Dune Beetle, which will also give me another insect token. We don't have mana up now for Supernatural Stamina, which is a little scary, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, okay. So our opponent is definitely going wide on us in a less than appealing way for us. Okay, another Grasping Dunes. Yeah, I'll put that into play. Hold that over my opponent's head. Yeah. Do I want a Cartouche of Strength something before combat? I'm not sure that I do. I'm just going to attack with both my big guys and see what my opponent does about it. Okay, so I'm going to use Supernatural Stamina here to keep him alive and also make me another Scarab token. Yeah. Too bad he doesn't have Trample, huh? About to give it to him, though. I'm going to use Cartouche of Strength now on my Crocodile to kill the Fan Bearer, because that's going to be a big problem. And I'll end my turn. I have mana up for Naga Vital for Grasping Dunes to put a counter on something, which I can kill any of my opponent's creatures with, while also making another insect token. Vizier of Many Faces. That's kind of a problem. I'm guessing you're going to copy my Crocodile. Yeah, you are. You do have to put a -1/-1 counter on one of your guys now, though. Which is kind of amusing. Okay. I think I still just win. I'm going to use Grasping Dunes. Wait a second. I would probably have to... Oh, only any time I could cast a sorcery. Well, I see how it is. Okay. Now I do anyway. Okay. Yeah, I think I just attack with the big crocodile, the kudu, and all my insects. Once again, I can only do it at instant speed, but I mean sorcery speed, but that's okay. Yeah, my opponent is not in a good place in terms of having to block. Okay. I think I definitely should have killed 2 of these before I attacked, but I will take doing 4 damage and killing all of these creatures and only losing a couple insect tokens. I'm going to hold on to the card in my hand and in my turn. Heckma Sentinels. Okay, that's pretty good. Gonna play Cartouche of Ambition on my kudu. I'm gonna put a -1/-1 counter on this warrior, which will make me an insect token. And I'm going to attack with my original insect token and my kudu. Drops our opponent down to 2. And I'll end my turn. So Nest of Scarabs has proved to be good enough in this deck so far. I may have just gotten lucky, but what are you going to do? Okay, Aven Initiate. Okay, so I think that means our opponent can survive 1 more turn. No, it doesn't. Because I'm just going to kill that. And we get in for 2. Yeah. So we didn't even get any of our sweet gold cards in that game. We just got Nest of Scarabs and an army of insect tokens. Works for me. We did see that he has Aven Initiate, which makes Giant Spider worth thinking about. We did also see a kind of problematic artifact. The white monument is kind of an issue. So there's that. Trespasser's Curse actually isn't terrible against people making a bunch of creature tokens like our opponent is. But I don't think I want to change anything up here. Okay, this is another pretty good hand. No Nest of Scarabs, but we do have our big beetle who's quite good. And we have a 2-drop, 4-drop, 5-drop, which isn't bad. Now we also have Supernatural Stamina, which is pretty good. Ooh, opponent is mana screwed. Luckily for him, we're not having like a blistering start or anything. We're just like playing a 2-drop, and right now we're not doing anything on turn 3. They got their land though, so at least there's that for them. Okay, I don't really think it's worth attacking and using Supernatural Stamina here. Just doesn't seem like enough to me. So I'm just gonna end my turn. I'd rather just take 2 when my opponent attacks. Double Top Crop. So the good news is my Decimator Beetle is going to, well, decimate them. So will that. We don't have double black for it though. So we're gonna play Quarry Hauler, even though we don't have anywhere to do anything with tokens right now. But that's okay. Not gonna attack still. I will attack with Quarry Hauler next turn. And keep Supernatural Stamina up, at least potentially. Because he still gets a 2-for-1. I probably wouldn't even use Supernatural Stamina. I just let him eat 2 creatures. That's right, a camel is going to eat creatures. Yeah. So get in there, camel. Okay, so we're going to kill both of those, which I'm perfectly fine with because I'm about to play Decimator Beetle. I was talking with a friend of mine and I was like, what is the best camel ever printed in Magic? And I think it probably is Quarry Hauler. There's only like 5 of them and most of them are terrible. So yeah, so now we're going to play Decimator Beetle. If our opponent doesn't have an answer for that, they are in trouble. I'm just going to put the counter on himself. He gets to take it off once he attacks, so we're in pretty great shape between riches. We don't have mana up for Supernatural Stamina right now, so our opponent could kill our Decimator Beetle, but I'd be okay with that, I guess. Well, no, I wouldn't. I'd like it to stay in play, but even if it doesn't, that's okay. Okay, Aven Initiate. Okay, now we're going to be able to attack with everything. I'm not even going to use that cartouche right now. I don't think we need it. I'm going to attack with Decimator Beetle and with Bitter Blade. I'm not going to exert him. And I'm going to put a -1/-1 counter right. Oh, whoops. I have to remove one from I don't have to remove one, but I remove the counter from here. And then we put a counter there. Yeah, so that's dead. My opponent has no good blocks. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I can protect my beetle right now. I have removal. I have rags. I'm in pretty good shape. I mean, maybe keeping the Bitterblade Warrior was worth it, but I don't know. This beetle will just kill every X1 ever, so now we probably just use Cartouche of Strength. Yeah. I guess I could wait to use it until my opponent plays a scarier creature. That might be smarter. But giving him trample is huge right here, so I'm just gonna do it. We're gonna kill that. And we're going to attack for 5. All right, and we have black mana up for Supernatural Stamina, should we need it. Opponent's desperation cycling, so that's a good sign for us. Yeah, Dune Beetle. That'll add to the party here. Actually, hilariously enough, does make damage lethal next turn. So, although Supernatural Stamina would have done it too. White mana, huh? Oh, okay. You've got your own rags. But did you just do that for fun? Because I'm pretty sure there's not much you can do. Yeah, there's not much. You do survive another turn, though. Yeah. Actually, no, yeah, you do. No, you don't, because Supernatural Stamina plus Trample, this will hit him for 5, and that'll hit it for 1. So, unless you just, well, yeah, he's dead no matter what. If he blocks the Dune Beetle instead, he's still dead, so we'll put this -1/-1 counter. We'll remove 1 from here and put that there. Oh, actually, yeah. I have to use Supernatural Stamina to get in for lethal here. And that's what we'll do. Opponent's tapped out, so we might as well go for it. Kaboom. All right, well, -1/-1 counter is working so far. Let's update our little record over here. So this is actually my 9th draft now, and we're looking at 16-8 right now. Not too bad, not too bad. And on to the next match. All right, we're going to the second match of an Amonkhet draft. We are 1-0, and we would like to play first. This hand is a little less than ideal than the ones we've seen so far, but it's not terrible, mostly because if my opponent gets a fast start, I can just fire off rags and get a 2 or 3 for 1. So I think I'm going to keep it. We also can play Nest of Scarabs early and start getting value out of it. Well, that's not going to be killable by Rags to Riches, but that's okay. It also doesn't worry me a ton, unless my opponent's a Sandworm Convergence deck, in which case, yeah, I'm worried. Because they can ramp into that. Our deck does have the ability to kill people quickly, but hasn't quite gotten there yet. Attack with that Cultivator. Bring the Thunder. Okay. Now I do play Nest of Scarabs. And this is kind of the downside of Nest of Scarabs. Every time you get it, you're not actually going to get to do something. Wasteland Scorpion was cycled. So our opponent is 3 colors, which you can do with Oashra Cultivator. Trial of Strength. Well, Riches can kill that. Nest of Scarabs number 2. I'm thinking I might play that. I'm going to do it. Let's do this thing. Let's get greedy. I am going to take 4 here, but then I can just cast Riches on my turn and hopefully kill whatever else he plays this turn. That's my goal here. No, he's not going to play anything because he's smart. So I will play my Quarry Hauler. We have so many cards that if we draw them, we're going to start making... You know, we get 2 insects now for every -1/-1 counter. So that is pretty awesome. There's the black. They're probably ramping into something quite large here. I'm hoping instead they're just going to play a few X2s that I can kill. Okay, well, first they're going to cut to ribbons is gross. So if I just draw land, I kind of have to fire off rags now. And just to kill a token, which doesn't feel great. Play something else at least. So if I play rags, I don't feel as bad about myself. Okay, well, now you have a Wasteland Scorpion in your hand. That's good to know. Okay. I think I'm just going to let... Man. We're just going to take it. We're just going to go to 8 here. I mean, as soon as we draw anything that makes -1/-1 counters, we're going to make a bunch of chump blockers. And we have rags, so if my opponent plays that Wasteland Scorpion, we can kill it too. So I'm hoping he just goes Cultivator, Wasteland Scorpion here. That's the dream. Scaled Behemoth. That is not the dream. Okay, well, what do we draw? Okay, great. That is kind of what I was looking for. 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't have quite enough to do the crocodile and riches, but rags, but we can do it later. But we do get to make 2 scarab tokens who can chump block big guy over there. Now, it's definitely true that rags is kind of a non-bow with our insect tokens, but I think that's okay. The bad news is if our opponent gets double black, they can just ribbons us to death. So that's not so good. If he attacks, I think I just chump each of these. Warfire Javelineer, you have 2, so you can kill one of my insects. Okay. Goodbye, insect. Oh, God. Just so scary, like the prospect of my opponent getting double black. The fact is, if I give up my crocodile here, I'm like definitely dead. He has to get double. Oh, he's going to get double black. What am I talking about? Yeah, we're probably dead. Because he can just get his second black mana with the cultivator. I think we make him do it. I don't want to show him I have rags, though. He doesn't need that information. And I'm just going to end my turn. So that is the downside of Nest of Scarabs. Is sometimes it's just a complete dud. And yeah, our opponent's just going to ribbons us to death here. Such a cool card. Such a good one. And we're dead. Okay. Well, your only combat damage. Scarab Feast is actually not terrible against someone with that card. The fact that it cycles, in addition to actually getting rid of problem cards from the graveyard. We know our opponent cares about cards in their graveyard for multiple cards that we saw. So I think I may bring it in and cut like Stinging Shot. We didn't see any flyers. I think that seems okay. Yeah. Let's go with that. Yeah, Cut to Ribbons is definitely the best of that cycle of split cards. would like to play first. No black mana. Otherwise, his hand would be so good. Oh, Hopatra, I'm so sorry. No green mana, but it's better than the other one because most of the cards I have are not green. And we will leave that on top. I'm probably just going to cycle this Scarab Feast. Yeah. All right. I'm going to play Bitterblade Warrior. Now, I think I played Dune Beetle and Festering Mummy, I guess. Yeah, let's do it. In my turn. Since obviously now I can block the companion really easily. Yeah, that's the card that we wish we had gotten, basically. Because it's it would give me 3 scarabs every time I played it, if I had it. Kind of thinking about playing Rag soon, so yeah. I definitely attack with my Festering Mummy. Of course, I guess leaving the Festering Mummy back also means my opponent can't really attack, so never mind. Things not going quite as much our way here in our second match. Okay, so Rags is looking real good. We do have to lose one of our own creatures in the process. Ooh, Nest of Scarabs, thank you. Now at least we get a Scarab token if we cast Rags. We kill all of our opponent's creatures. We'll still have a Dune Beetle and a Scarab token. But you know me, I'm greedy, so I'm going to wait one more turn probably. Well, I can't cast it now anyway. What am I talking about? So as soon as I can cast it, I probably will. Even if he plays a 3/3. Oh, actually, I will need a creature to put the counter on. Okay, now he does have a 3/3, so there's that. Guess you're gonna kill. Yeah, Death Touch. Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is. If he attacked with the Scorpion, wow, that's surprising. Because I can kill the Scorpion and the Initiate's Companion with Festering Mummy. I can also just block there and sort of just start over. I have an Engine card in play, and I'm going to have a Scarab. And I have another card in my hand and another Board Sweeper. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh no, this only took 1 damage. That's what we have going on here. Okay, in that case, I can still block here. Block here, block there, put a counter on that. Okay, let's go to blocking. So, block, block. And I still have the option to just take this all and cast Riches. I mean, in Rags and kill everything. In which case, I actually get in for some damage. This is also preventing him from untapping a land, which could be entirely relevant, so... yeah, let's do it. Okay, well that sucks. That sucks a lot. That ruins our plans like all together. So, ouch. All right. I put a counter here though, and he shrinks back down to a 2/2. So let's put the counter there. I get a sapling, an insect rather. I think it's just going to be best to cast Riches, even though it means my insect dies in the process. Then we kind of just have to hope we draw some ways to make more Scarab tokens, but hey. All right. Well, that's not too terrible for us. Opponent has to actually have creatures in play, so... Crop Entangler, okay. Hello. You have to tap out, which I don't love, but since we have a trick in our hand that can save our creatures, but this will put him in range of Electrify, so I don't think I really want to do that. I'm going to put the counter on Bitterblade Warrior instead and make a Scarab. If I can keep him out of range of Electrify, I think I should, and I can remove this counter just as easily as I can remove the one that I was going to put on my beetle. We have a lot of insects in this deck, huh? 2 Dune Beetles, 2 Decimator Beetles, and 2 Nests of Scarabs. They like -1/-1 counters, I guess. So if he plays a creature spell, he can make this pretty big. But once it's my turn again, I can just put a counter on the Crop Entangler and kill it. Okay, well, he wants to take down my poor guy. Warfire Javelineer. Oh no. 1, 2. Okay, he's only going to be able to kill the insect, so less worried now. I was worried he had enough to kill my beetle. So he can hit us really hard here. And he probably does. But when I attack, I can kill the Entangler and then make another beetle to block. Granted, he does have Ronus's Monument in play, so trample is going to be a real issue going forward. Okay, well, now I can make 2 beetles. All right. What if my opponent thinks that I had to have a creature with a -1/-1 counter on it? Because we don't. So. Okay, should I shrink this guy? I don't think so. I think I hold on to the dunes for now. We just want our opponent to flood out right now. That's what we're hoping for. That's, you know, he needs to run out of gas while our engine of Decimator Beetle plus Nest of Scarabs is online. Okay. In that case, I'm going to play Ornery Kudu, put the counter on the beetle. Actually, once again, that puts him in range of Electrify. Okay, yeah, opponent gave up. All right. Nest of Scarabs got us there that time. Scarab Feast. Do I still want you? I guess so. I mean, the thing about it is, if my opponent has stuff in their graveyard I really want to exile, that's what I'll do. But if I draw it early game, I'm just going to cycle it. I think that's just better. It has added flexibility because of that. We haven't gotten to play Hapatra yet. That's the dream. We want to live here. Okay, no black mana and all black cards except for our combat trick. We're on the draw. How many swamps are we running in this thing? Oh, God. We do have Grasping Dunes, which is interaction, but I also can't afford to lose a land this early. If I draw black, this hand is really good. But I think I have to send it back. Okay, this is more reasonable. That I don't want, because I don't have black mana, but this is fine. I mean, if I can play turn 3 Kudu into Quarry Hauler to make it a 3/4, that's fine. Okay, we have a 2-drop now too, which is good. Maybe I shouldn't have mulliganed that first hand. I'm having mulligan regrets now. Oh, good. Black mana. Just what I was hoping for. So we're going to play Bitterblade Warrior. There's a decent chance he just eats a Magma Spray. Nope. He did not. Okay. Ooh, yeah. There we go. So I'm going to offer the trade here. I'm not going to exert. And I'm going to play this Nest of Scarabs. Which means I can play Kudu and make a token. Okay, opponent is ramping pretty hard right now, which I'm not pumped about. I think I probably put the counter on Bitterblade Warrior and then remove it so that this can just block the Kudu. I attack with my Bitterblade Warrior first, of course. Oh, Patra. My greed knows no bounds, you guys. Oh, God. Okay. I am going to attack with Bitterblade Warrior. No exerting. And I'm going to play a Patra. And I'm going to hope he doesn't have Magma Spray. So, because now, every time I put a -1/-1 counter somewhere, I get a Snake token and a Beetle token. You know, why not? Why not? We take 3 to the face. Don't kill it, 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 don't kill it. Don't kill her. Okay, you didn't. Thank God. We can make Death Touch tokens that'll just kill Scaled Behemoth. So that's what we have going for us. All right, so we're going to play Ornery Kudu. Put the counter on, I think, Bitterblade Warrior. I do wish I had mana up also for Shed Weakness, but what are you going to do? Okay. And now, I think I'm just going to attack with this and exert. Seems like a plan. He's not going to block it because it has Death Touch, so. We do need a 4th land pretty terribly. Pretty badly, I should say. So Behemoth attacks, we throw this snake in front of it. Ouch, okay. He's going to make the snake unable to block. And now this is a 4/4, so he can hit us really hard. We can still block, chump block with an insect token, and that's what we're going to be doing. Chump block away and take 4. Okay. Come on. Yes. That is very good news. All right. So, would I rather play Quarry Hauler first? I don't think so. I think getting another snake and another beetle is a big deal. I can then leave mana up also for Combat Trick plus Cycling Scarab Feast. So that's pretty good. Okay. All right. So Hapatra and the Kudu are going to attack. Ooh. Is it risky to attack with Hapatra here? A little bit. We do have a trick, though, so I think I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. I don't think shedding weakness is worth it. I'm going to put a -1/-1 counter onto this lizard. I could kill the cultivator and make him search up mana, I guess. That's not the worst. Yeah, let's just kill the cultivator. Oh, that was a bad idea, because now I'm not going to get a snake token. I am, actually, because my opponent didn't sacrifice it in response. He should have. What I did was a bad idea, because my opponent could have, in response, sacrificed their cultivator, and then the counter wouldn't have gone anywhere. So... lots of death touch on this board. Right, I'm going to cycle Scarab Feast. Okay. I'm going to play this Quarry Hauler. And remove the counter from Bitterblade Warrior. And in my turn. So Rags is pretty bad right now. Ooh, Vizier of the Menagerie. That's pretty great card. Okay, another Grasping Dunes. Don't hate that. I'm going to put the counter on the Thresher Lizard in this case. And I am going to attack with one of my tokens with Death Touch. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing. Play a land, and in my turn, it's only a matter of time before we draw something like Decimator Beetle, who can repeatedly... Ooh, that's bad. Giving him trample is going to be a problem. Should have probably sided into Center's Deliverance. Mortifier Javelineer doesn't do any damage, but it makes this a massive, massive, massive creature. Oh, you're actually going to give him the trample. I'm a little surprised by that. Also okay with it. Oh, yeah, no, you don't have enough. Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. You can't kill her. Okay. I'm just going to block with Quarry Hauler here. All right. Cartouche of Strength. Okay. Death Touch is nice, but I still can't target Scaled Behemoth. However, I can use it to kill the Vizier, which I think is good. And that is it. So we can take down the Behemoth even once he gets really big just by blocking with a Snake token, but also we obviously have to block with a little bit more power too. I mean, a little more toughness. We can do that if we have to. Okay. Man, I've been saying it's only a matter of time before we draw what we need. Okay. I'm going to attack with a Death Touch token. And with him exerted. Yeah, I kind of figured that would happen, but I'm okay with that. I could use Shed Weakness, but I'm kind of planning on using that to finish my opponent off. We need Splendid Agony, so we can make 2 tokens and shrink this. Wouldn't mind that. There we go. The beetle that decimates things. That's exactly what we wanted. I'm going to put the counter. There's nowhere good to put a counter. I'm going to put it on the Kudu, though. Okay, we're going to make these 2 tokens. Death Touch tokens are so good. I said that in my set review. I was like, if you've ever had to play against Death Touch tokens, you know how terrible it is. And it is indeed terrible. I'm just going to attack with 2 of them to be careful here. All right. I bet our opponent wishes they had Rags right now. We're getting to the point where we can just swing and kill our opponent incidentally. So our opponent would block Decimator Beetle. Oh. Dang it. Bye, Hapatra. Oh no. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can they kill us? With the ribbons that they just top decked? My God. I think they might be able to. This adds 2, right? No, they can only do 6. No. They can only do 5 even. But we're dead next turn, unless we kill them now. So, we've got to find a way to do that. Got to find a way. That's not the way. We just have to attack with everything and hope things go our way, because ribbons out of their graveyard can kill us. Where? Scarab Feast? Come on. Why did I cycle that? This might be lethal anyway, but we're going to remove this counter, and we're going to put a counter here. I think it is lethal anyway. Thanks to Shed Weakness, it's going to be lethal unless my opponent has a trick. So I think we may have gotten there. See if they have a removal spell. Yeah, sure. I'll remove a -1/-1 counter. Whew. That was an intense match. It was a lot of fun to play. We're up to 2-0 with this pretty sweet deck. Let's edit our stats here. We are now up to 17-8. Will we get a trophy? Trophy number 3? I wouldn't mind it. This deck seems strong enough to do it. On to match 3. All right, we're going into the third match of a Amonkhet Draft. We are 2-0 with a pretty sweet black-green deck. Probably the best one I'll manage to draft in this entire format. I think this hand is keepable even though we have no black mana because we have a bunch of green stuff. And that is going to include, potentially, if we draw any land, playing a turn 3 Crocodile of the Crossing. And I'm always happy with that. So, even if I'm not going to get a Scarab token at the same time. Okay, so I may as well not show him I have Grasping Dunes just yet. So yeah, if we... Oh no, we don't even need to draw land. We get to play turn 4 Crocodile the Crossing. Turn 3, I mean. Awesome. I am down with that. Scarabs or not. Okay. Still don't think I want to show him that I have what I have. We're going to do this. Crocodile time. We're going to put the counter on Naga Vitalist. And we're just going to bash away. He's the kind of card that if you can resolve him early, and as a 5/4, if your opponent doesn't have an answer, they can just end up just losing the game. And that's pretty awesome. He was our first pick. And that is why. On-Crop Crasher's close, though. Some of you may have taken it, and I would not disagree with you with the idea of taking that. Okay, so he can now double block if he wants to kill my... Oh, aggressive. He may have a trick. He may have a trick up his sleeve here. To kill my Crocodile. Which makes it tempting to use Grasping Dunes, but I think we just let our opponent 2-for-1 themselves here. If he has a trick. Nope, just taking it. Wow. That is some pain. Okay, we're gonna play Quarry Hauler and remove the counter from our Naga Vitalist. We really need to get the mana for this Nest of Scarabs. This is going to do 2 damage to us. Yeah. Okay. I guess that sort of explains why you decided to be so aggressive, but you take so much damage if you attack here. Wow. I'll take it. Okay. I'm kind of scared of what my opponent is capable of, given how they're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna get in there. Okay, so we can play Kudu and Nest of Scarabs this turn, which will give us a much needed chump blocker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, yes. Okay, so he may have a kill spell here, but that's okay. We're just gonna go kapow. I guess if I'd attacked with this, it would have been lethal. But surely my opponent has, yeah, they have a Pouncing Cheetah to take down my Quarry Hauler. He's not going to be hauling Quarry anymore. So Crocodile the Crossing has done all 15 damage to our opponent. That's what happens sometimes. Okay, so Nest of Scarabs. Ornery Kudu. Put the counter here. We have a 3/4 and an insect token. This deck has been so much fun. It's kind of like the black-green +1/+1 counter deck in Kaladesh, where I only got to draft it once and it was awesome. And I have a feeling that's how this is going to be too. Because we just had everything come together. I mean, we got Hapatra. We got everything you'd ever want for this deck. Basically. You know, we didn't get Defiant Great Maw or any of that stuff. But there, you know, were some rares that would go well. But basically, we got everything you would need. And that's why we're doing so well. So, we didn't see anything with flying. Thinking about taking out Stinging Shot and bringing in, like, something else. Maybe another Shed Weakness. Yeah, let's do Shed Weakness, number 2. One more win away from a trophy. Give us that trophy. I mean, we got both of the Signpost, two copies of the Signpost uncommon. This hand, I think I keep it. It's a little risky. If I hit a bunch of lands, it's going to be real bad. But I do have 2 creatures I can play at least. It's not like I can't contribute to the board early. But we do need... I would be fine with never drawing another land this game, basically. So let's avoid drawing another land. Nope. We got one. We also have Grasping Dunes, which is, you know, can at least do something, unlike all these other lands we have. There's his Bitterblade Warrior. Cartouche of Strength, huh? I think I'm going to play Naga Vitalist just to... On the off chance I draw a 4-drop this turn, so I can curve into it. If I don't, I'll probably just play Bitterblade Warrior. Cartouche of Strength seems less likely. We're going to take 2 here. Another land. Okay, that's what I was looking for. I think I just play Grasping Dunes and kill this. We've got plenty of mana, so... Goodbye, sir. And kapow! That's right. That Vitalist gonna do some damage. We can kill this eventually with our Cartouche of Strength. So far, that's not really what I want to do. Okay, Decimator Beetle. See, if we hadn't sacrificed that land, we'd be able to play it right away. But, yeah, we're just going to play our own Bitterblade Warrior. And I think I'm just going to my turn. I don't want to risk losing my Vitalist when I can play my Decimator Beetle next turn. Harsh Mentor. Good thing it says that isn't a mana ability. Or I'd be in for some serious trouble. Okay, you can attack with both of those. Opponent may have a trick, but I say use it. Yeah, he does have a trick. If we didn't have 2 incredibly good cards in our hand, I would have been a lot less keen on doing that, but we do, so. More land isn't exactly what I wanted, but Decimator Beetle is what I want. So we're going to play the Beetle. Put a counter on the Vitalist. Just to keep it out of Electrify range. Because if he's even briefly in Electrify range, he has a good chance of getting electrified. So. Okay, yeah, we're just going to take that. Wow, that is a lot of bloodlust you're inciting. Whew, less than ideal. Okay. I'm going to use Cartouche of Strength and kill him. Might actually be better to kill that. But I think killing this makes it easier for me to attack with my beetle, because then I kill a Bloodlust Insider, and then he'll only have one blocker to try to do the remaining 3 damage to my Decimator Beetle. That'll be necessary. Oh, and actually he's going to get even bigger because of Cartouche of Strength. So, yeah, so Cartouche. Kill Harsh Mentor. All right, and then we're going to attack Zahadum. Remove a counter from her and kill a Bloodlust Insider. And in my turn. So this beetle is going to destroy our opponent if he can't deal with it, because he just has X1s galore, and that's not so good against a Decimator Beetle. See, we're even drawing like 1,000,000 lands, but Decimator Beetle is so strong that we're doing well anyway. And we've only played 4 spells in this game, as opposed to our opponent's 6 so far. Even though they're a little mana screwed, we're just like everything screwed. So we'll remove a counter, a non-existent one, and we'll kill Bloodlust Insider. Drop our opponent down to 9. We will play a land. Yeah, we're just taking this. Oh, okay. Couldn't have done anything about it anyway. So yeah, the Death Touch plus the Cartouche. Ouch. Okay, well, there goes that. Our path to victory is no longer clear, and we keep drawing lands. We will drop our opponent to 8, though. So right now would be a really annoying time to draw like Nest of Scarabs, because all I have in my hand are lands. So the good news is our opponent also doesn't, it seems to have too expensive of cards in his hand. I think we kind of just have to go with this. I'll hold on to it for now, I guess. Gaining life will be really good against our opponent, and it will up the clock, but I feel like if I can kill something or weaken something at the same time, it'll be better. Or draw my Nest of Scarabs. Okay, he's cycling. All right, well, that is a creature after all. We will attack, dropping our opponent to 6. And we will play a Festering Mummy. And we'll hold on to all of these cards and make it look like we can actually do something. Deeming worthy, yeah, so sure. Glad I didn't try to play my Cartouche. No, I do not want to use Festering Mummy's ability. Thank you, though. Blood Rage Brawler is pretty big. I can make it small enough and my guy big enough to attack through it, though. Rags. Not exactly what I was wanting to see here. Actually, I guess on a future turn it's not so bad because this will be big enough to survive it, and that'll be small enough to die from it. Oh no, they have a kill spell. They do. Okay, Electrify. That is not good. That is not good. Okay. This Blood Rage Brawler is 2 turns away from killing us. We need to draw some action. Yeah, he really turned this game around with that turn where he cartoushed my face off. We're dead, I think. Block. No, now we're not quite dead. But basically, we'll try. Where were you when I needed you, Baleful Planet? So I can block and kill the Brawler and go up to 7 and then go back down to 2, basically. That's my plan. Don't have another creature. Come on. Okay, it's just an edifice. That's... Okay, now we're dead. That was... Felt like we had, like, a path to victory and then things fell apart. The good news is, you know, it kind of looked like if I'd played my cartouche earlier, I could have won. But my opponent was holding removal that whole time. So, ready to electrify, ready to deem worthy anything I tried to do something fancy with. So... we wouldn't have been able to. So this last game determines whether we go 3-0 or not. Yeah, don't think we change anything. Okay. I think this hand is probably a mulligan, although... it's another one of those hands where if my opponent gets a quick start, I can just cast Rags, I guess. Yeah, all right, I'll keep it. It's a little scary. It's a little scary of a keep, but I do have Rags, which makes it more of a keepable hand. If my opponent's just like 2-drop, 3-drop, and I go Rags, you know, it's not going to feel too bad. Of course, we do need to draw another land for that to happen. Desert Cerodon has been cycled. Okay, we didn't draw another land yet, but we do have a Dune Beetle, who Cartouche of Ambition is not actually all that bad on. Just throwing that out there. 2/5 Lifelinker does a lot of work. Especially if we can go Cartouche, put a counter on something, Quarry Hauler, add another counter to that thing. Another Cerodon. So, I guess it didn't matter which way I tapped my mana. I had a trick up either way. Defiant frickin' Great Maw. Really? Here, I'll give you another -1/-1 counter, buddy. Oh, Nest of Scarabs. Well, my greed, as we've noted multiple times, is very, very great. So... I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have a decent, you know, plan set up in terms of just blocking this turn, and if I didn't have ways of putting more -1/-1 counters on things, but I do. So, like, I can play my Cartouche, I can play my Quarry Hauler. I have options. I'm just gonna take 2 from this thing. Opponent leaving mana up for Electrify, most likely. So what we really wanted there was a third land because of that. Because then we could have cartouched and used like Shed Weakness, or fourth land, I mean, or we could have played Quarry Hauler, which would have at least made me a beetle token. We do have Baleful Amit, and that's, I guess, what I'm going to do here. I mean, that's still pretty good. It's probably just going to get electrified, but I do get a beetle token out of the deal. So, which makes me want to just put the counter here if he's just going to eat and electrify. Now the beetle you can have it, beetle. He can electrify the beetle in response, and he actually could have done it to the Amit. So putting it on the beetle was better, because him having to electrify the beetle in response is not exactly it wasn't gonna feel great for him. I should have attacked for 1 first, probably. Could have made a difference. Electrify, yes. But if we'd had a 4th land, we could have just like laughed at that combat trick, but we didn't. So there you go. Now I think... I'm just going to take it again. My opponent probably has Shed Weakness in his hand, so... Edifice of Authority. Hey, there's a land. So let's go to combat, see if he decides to just tap down this innocent little insect token. He does not. So we're going to attack. I'm going to play Grasping Dunes. I'm going to play Quarry Hauler. And I'm actually going to add another -1/-1 counter to Defiant Greatmaw. Here you go, buddy. Enjoy. Which will give us another Scarab token. So when he gets counters, he can remove counters from other things. So it's a good time to do it because our opponent does not have any other creatures in play. So... Scarab token. I could have removed the one from my Dune Beetle, but I wouldn't have gotten a Scarab out of the deal. So, Edifice of Authority is super good, and I probably should have cited in my Artifact Hate because we knew we had it, because it is going to be quite obnoxious. That's for sure. Okay. Yeah, I think it's... no, it's not. We're just going to take it. I keep thinking I'm going to block it, and then I'm like, I should wait till a turn where I have combat tricks up. Yeah, he's just trying to do damage now, which is cool with me. Okay, I wonder if he still has a mana for Electrify. Okay, that's going to give me 2 Scarabs. I think, though, I'm just going to play... What I want to do, since I'll have the option, I'd rather use Supernatural Stamina on Quarry Hauler because I'll get yet another... well... Actually, I'd rather use Shed Weakness because that way my creature doesn't die. And he'll have to use Edifice of Authority on it. Yeah, so... need to stop tapping my mana that way. We want to tap it this way. Cartouche of Ambition. Okay, I'm going to put another counter here. Which will give us another Scarab. We're going to go to combat. Quarry Hauler is not going to be allowed to attack, sadly. Nope. Attack with both of these insects. And I'll end my turn. So we can Splendid Agony this thing the rest of the way to death if we have to. Which will also give us 2 more Scarab tokens. So... Hey, Dune Beetle. No, we want to leave green up again. So I'm just going to cast Splendid Agony and put both counters on that guy. Magma spraying his own guy so that I don't get Saproling tokens. That is... Should I shed weakness his guy so that I still get... I keep saying Saproling tokens. But no, we're just gonna let him 2-for-1 himself if that's what he wants to do. Oh, that's crazy. I mean, I understand that he must not have a lot going on in his hand if he's worried about an army of insects, but you know, that's cool. All right, so we still have mana up for shed weakness. Should we need to shed such things? Okay. So I think I just use Grasping Dunes to kill this and make another insect. Magma spray your own guy again. I dare you. Gonna make it so that can't do anything. We're gonna bash away with insect tokens. Should have made an insect lord in this deck, in this set. There's enough of them, especially if you get 2 nests of scarabs. And now we'll play Dune Beetle. I think we'd again rather leave up the green though. So yeah, we'll play Dune Beetle. That is a lot of insects. We have Shed Weakness to help us punch through a lot of the small creatures that we know our opponent's deck has. You know, we've only cast this once, but when we did, it was pretty great. Yeah, we don't have mana for Decimator Beetle, sadly. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. And then I could use Shed Weakness to add 3 more, but that's... Yeah, I can do 10 right now, but that's not quite enough of a reason to throw out all my combat tricks right now. All right, in my turn. Looks like I finally recorded a good draft here on my channel. On the Ether Hub, up until recently, I had been 8-1, and on here I had been something like, let's say I went 0-2 and 1-2. 1-4. So this will help. This will help. Maybe I'm counting my chickens, I don't know, but stuff feels pretty good. All right, let's go to combat. Yep. Now we do attack with everything. So that's 4. And then this will be 3. So yeah, we'll just cast Shed Weakness. And do you have an answer? No. All right. Finally went 3-0 on my channel instead of just over on the hub. We can now proudly say I have 3 trophies rather. And we went up to 18-8. It's not the worst win rate. Still haven't drafted a god, though it had the chance in this draft. But in the end, you know, we picked a Decimator Beetle, which ended up definitely being the right thing to do because this deck was wide open and we did some really awesome stuff with it. So Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to click the like button. It helps people find this video. If you have any comments about the choices I made in the draft or in the games, post them below. If you want to make sure you catch all of my drafts, you can subscribe here. I also post a draft every week over on the Ether Hub, so you can check that out as well. And my content sponsored in part by 5colorcombo.com, as you can see on the screen right now. A great website for all things Magic, and you can use my discount code NITZAHONE5 for a 5% discount there. Thanks for watching.